Hi, it's Giselle Monbiot again, here to discuss different tips and tools you can to reduce anxiety. Today I am going to be doing quite a brief session, and I'm just going to teach you a really handy little tool to help you. You know, there are times when our emotions just sort of rise up. So someone might say something that makes you really cross, and you react and you say something, and then afterwards you just think, oh, if only I had said something different, because quite often the knock-on effects of that can cause more problems than there was in the beginning. So it's a handy little tool that you can use, which really helps you to stop that acting, and then just stop and then just think about how you're going to respond. I also find it very useful not just to stop negative emotion, but it's also a really useful tool to start to notice what's going on around us. So we'll talk about that in a second. So quite often what might happen is, say for example, you get an email. You get an email from work, you get an email from schools, you get an email from someone you know, and you might not like their tone, or you might not like the implications that you are understanding is going on in the words that they're using. And you might get a flush of emotion, and maybe in the past you have responded instantly, maybe using an aggressive tone or annoyed tone, or maybe using words that maybe you wouldn't normally use, and afterwards you sort of get that sort of sinking feeling, oh god, if only I had said it differently, it would have been a much better way of being. So this little technique is really useful. So it's called STOP, and it's an acronym, and it's something you can go through very quickly, but what it can do, if you just spend those 10-20 seconds just going through that process, it can just make the difference between what your response is. So the S stands for just stopping. So you sort of recognize that something has triggered you, and you just stop. And then the T is you take a few deep breaths. So you focus in on breathing in and then breathing out, doing a few really slow, long, deep inhalations and exhalations, just really allowing yourself to get into that rhythm. And then after you've done about 5 long, deep breaths, the O is you are sort of opening and observing yourself. So what's going on in your body at that moment? Is it that you've got a tightness? Is it your body feels feels tight? Maybe the thoughts running around your head, maybe sort of angry thoughts, maybe noticing the emotion you're feeling, sort of annoyance, irritation, frustration. Just becoming aware of the sensations around you and within you. And just those 3 stages can be enough just to calm you down, calm those emotions down. And then the P is proceeding with new possibility. So in any given situation, there's always many different possibilities that you can do. Because quite often when we're in that sort of flary moment, we can only sort of see 1 or 2 things that we can do. But actually, as you calm down, you start to realise that there are a number of different possibilities there could be. It could be that you're ready to answer the email in a manner that is more it's more helpful for you and for that other person. Or it might be that recognition you just need to walk away. So maybe you need to just go off and have a walk, or maybe you need to go and do one of the breathing exercises that I've taught. Maybe it's just going to go and sit and have a cup of tea and have a bit of a laugh with someone. And then you can go back and write it. So this is also quite useful to do throughout the day. So quite often we are living in our heads, and that is it. We're sort of consumed with our thoughts, completely oblivious to what's going on in our bodies. So if you just at intervals throughout the day, just stop, do the stop, and then just come and start to take notice about what's going on within your body. Because quite often when we start to react quite strongly, it's because there's been a sequence of events prior to that, and there's been a build-up of stress or a build-up of frustration, which in the end just explodes. So if you just throughout the day just do a stop, just maybe you're sitting at your desk, or maybe you're walking through the park, or just stop, take a few deep breaths, observing your body, and then proceed. It can be really helpful because you can start to become really conscious of the emotions which are happening within your body. Another thing that's really nice with this is it really helps with being mindful. So I've just said about being in the park. Quite often when we're in the park, all we're doing is we are immersed in our thoughts, maybe thinking about what we have to do next, or the things that we've just done, or looking at our phones. And just, if you do the stop, so you're just walking along and then you stop, you take a few deep breaths, and then you observe where you are. You observe the trees, you observe the sky, the birds, noticing how you're feeling within yourself, how lovely that place is, really becoming aware. And then the P, maybe, is just proceeding more mindfully through the park, just slowing down, becoming more conscious of where you are, becoming more mindful. So I hope that's helped. It's a really nifty little technique that you can just do anywhere and at any time, and it really can make such a difference to your day. So it's the ability to start responding as opposed to reacting. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.